On a mis à notre disposition le véhicule, tout le moyen possible de logistique. Ce sont mes pays hospitaliers. Everybody, and let me wish you a warm welcome to the land of the Southern Hills, especially to the large village of mountain gorillas. And I would like to inform you that the minister in the President's office in charge of ICT, who was supposed to join us today, has postponed his trip due to the inauguration event of the President of the Republic elected recently. However, he will be here tomorrow afternoon, and he will share with participants the experience of Rwanda regarding the implementation of the ambitious broadband project and all its components. We will welcome him tomorrow. And as is the African tradition of good way, I wish to present my heartfelt apologies for any inconvenience that should be took place so far, and for that would happen eventually, making sure to do our best to make your stay pleasant in the atmosphere of flexibility and mutual understanding. Everyone here is at home, and I wish you successful work. Thank you for coming, for accepting our invitation.
Thank you, Abraham. Jonathan, if you could drive my slides, please. As many of you will know, I am the chairman of the United Kingdom Telecoms Academy. One of the main reasons that I want to be here is to actually explain to you a lot of the work that we've been doing, and to make sure that those countries that haven't had the benefit of hearing what we've been doing, to take the message back to your countries. I have left some leaflets of different programs that we've been doing recently at the back there. The program this morning, I'm going to talk about transferring knowledge to Africa, which, you know, I'm very, very committed to. Jonathan, next slide. The UKTA was created in 1995. This was a direct result of the fact that in 1995, two things had happened. One is there'd been the first World Telecom Development Conference in 1994. And secondly, none of the telecom assets in the UK was owned by the UK government. It was totally privatised at that time. And there were a lot of difficulties for the UK government trying to give you, particularly those from the Commonwealth, any training. You couldn't get it because all the money was in the private sector, no longer in government. But this is an indication of who was actually committed at that time. What we committed to do as a direct result of the first World Telecom Development Conference in Buenos Aires was to actually endeavour to provide as much knowledge to those that needed it as we possibly could. And what we found was, when we talked to the people that had committed to helping the UKTA, was that they had substantial training facilities and they were willing to give some training. So this was the commitment that we were getting from people like Cable and Wireless, BT, which by this time were fully privatised organisations. What have we done? Some of you may have been to some of the major conferences that we've put on for the development sector in Coventry, and they took place in 99, 2001, 2003, and the last one was 2008. At the request of the ITU, and this was specifically at the request of the ITU, we've developed a number of master's degrees, because what you as countries were asking for was not just low-level training, it was how to be competitive strategic operators. And so we've developed law degrees, engineering degrees, and management degrees. We recognise that a lot of your suppliers come from China, and so we make great emphasis to help the Chinese understand real business. And so we've trained 12 associate professors. We've also co-sponsored 4 students to study at Cambridge University and to achieve PhDs. At the last conference that we put on in the UK in 2008, you will see a number of participants there from Africa, including Sami al-Bashir, the director of the development sector, and at that time the Minister Morenzi, who will be familiar to a number of you in this area. We've signed a number of agreements with Kigali Institute of Science and Technology and with the Open University of Tanzania, where we do quite a lot of work. So where are we now? Well, we have the founding member, Cable and Wireless, is still active. Cambridge University has been awarded an honorary directorship, and Buckinghamshire New University is a full member of the UKTA. We've now got a range of associate members: Profitable Learning, University of Strathclyde, St Patrick's College, Fraud Management, the GSM Association that reflects the needs of all the GSM operators, myself as a delivering agent, and as far as fibre's concerned, CTTS is a very knowledgeable organisation in the UK, providing worldwide training on fibre optic systems. And what we've been doing recently is transferring knowledge to Africa through Kigali Institute of Science and Technology, and also to using the Open University as well. We've been transferring knowledge to China through Beijing University of Post and Telecoms, and we have a very close relationship with the USTTI. Many of African countries attend USTTIs, and I know that Irene did in 2009 as a delegate. We've developed for Africa a Master of Laws in Information Technology and Telecommunications Law, and I can tell you there are still 2 scholarships available for a course that starts in 2 weeks that haven't been taken up by Africa. They're specifically for LDCs, so it's not too late if any of you are budding lawyers. We have an MSc in Operational Communications, which takes place at Kigali Institute of Science and Technology, and we have a Master of Communications Management, which the programs that we deliver in the UK, we do the Master of Communications Management, but by blended learning. This is a technique that we've developed whereby you can remain in work in Africa and you go to the UK for 4 extended weekends, and it allows you to gather the knowledge face-to-face with the professors. Alternatively, we come to Kigali and deliver the lectures in Kigali as well. Now, one of the things that I can tell you is that the Ministry of Education in Kigali have kindly donated 14 scholarships, and 12 of those are still available for least developed countries, with the exception of Rwanda. Only least developed countries outside Rwanda can benefit from these scholarships. So again, you know, get the message to your colleagues that these scholarships are available. We are delivering the Master of Science in Operational Communications. Again, that's done in KIST, and it's a sister program. We use common modules, 7 of them are common modules with the Master of Communications Management. We're delivering a law degree. We're doing a law degree at the Open University of Tanzania, and next January there is a new LLM in ICT law that starts at Bucks New University, and again that's being done by blended learning. So you would spend 4 4-day sessions in the UK with intensive lectures. The rest of the work you would do back home. One of the things we've already done, following a visit in March by Hamadoun Touré, Secretary General of the ITU, is to put on a fibre optic workshop, and that's Minister Guattari, who you'll meet tomorrow, welcoming the Managing Director of CTTS, who brought out here $120,000 worth of equipment to do the hands-on teaching. And as you can see, there were over 40 participants on the programme. Some of the work that I did, particularly as chairman of UKTA, was recognised by Her Majesty in 2003. What we actually did as a team was to raise $50 million for scholarships for people to visit the UK during a period of 10 years. And I was recognised for that. Because of the contribution that the ITU had made to Africa, we felt very strongly as UKTA that your Secretary General of the ITU, who was the first Secretary General from Africa, should be duly recognised. And in March of this year, Minister Murigandi was seen here awarding Hamadoun an honorary doctorate. As you can see, our mission is to be the leading forum for the transfer of knowledge. And I think it's important to know that nobody in the UKTA gets any salary at all. It's zero. All the money that we raise, we put back into scholarships. We all work as volunteers. Thanks very much for listening. It's now my great pleasure to introduce to you the Deputy to the Director of ITU-T, or TSB as many of you will know it. And Reinhard Scholl has come over from Geneva to be with us this morning. He's got a very pressing appointment in Berlin tomorrow morning, so we're highly honoured that he's here with us this morning to explain to you the main purpose of this workshop this week.
Can you hear me? Yeah, okay. So, good morning, everyone. Very happy that we got quite a good turnout. There are even more people who have signed up who haven't come yet. I hope that all the chairs will be enough, but I'm sure we'll find a way out of that. So let me first give you the best regards of the director of the Telecommunication Standardization Bureau. That's Malcolm Johnson. He would have liked to come here. Actually, he loves to come to Rwanda. Actually, a lot of people like to come to Rwanda, but he has another date somewhere else, so he asked me to come here and to open this workshop. So what I thought I would be doing is I'll first give you a higher-level overview of the work that the ITU-T, the standardization sector of ITU, is doing. So I have a few slides prepared. I also have a video, an 8-minute video, which I'll show, which will give you a flavor of the work that the ITU-T is doing. So I'm going to ask you a question now. So think about it and then let me know what your possible answer might be. I'm asking you to think about what do you consider mankind's most impressive accomplishments, most impressive projects, most impressive maybe scientific projects, or most impressive engineering projects. What do you think? I'll give you a few seconds to think about it. What do you think are the greatest or among the greatest accomplishments of mankind? So for example, I'll give you one example, like the landing of man on moon. I think that's a pretty cool, pretty impressive accomplishment. The building of the pyramids, that was a long time ago. That's a pretty impressive accomplishment. Yeah. So what would you consider, what would be your most impressive engineering feat, scientific feat of mankind? Anyone who would like to take the floor? Okay.
I think the coming of the internet have brought the major achievement in mankind.
You were not supposed to say this now. You were supposed to say this later. So I guess other things you could consider, like the deciphering of the Human Genome Project is very impressive, yeah. But I guess you could argue, and not many people, or hardly anyone thinks of that, you could argue that the communications network is actually the most impressive accomplishment or engineering feat of mankind. So the internet would be part of that. Yeah? But if you imagine that today you can call anyone, anytime, anywhere in the world, or pretty soon you'll be able to do that, that's just amazing. Yeah? And so this would not be possible without ITU. It would not be possible without the standards of ITU. So the structure of the ITU is divided into three what we call sectors. There is a radio communication sector that deals with spectrum management, with radio matters, assigning frequencies to different services. Then there is the development sector, which helps developing countries setting up the infrastructure. And then there is the standardization sector. That's the sector that I'm presenting, and that's the one that's offering you this tutorial. We do standards. So I'll show you now a movie.
Bonjour Max. Ça va, tout va bien. To start with, country codes like 1 for the USA or 33 for France are part of an ITU system. All international codes are agreed and allocated by ITU member states. Then there's the codec, used to encode our voices, another ITU standard that's become the native language of the digital phone network. It's now used in technologies that enable us to speak over the internet. New codecs are being developed to provide even better sound quality. This call is set up using standardized ITU signalling system, allowing it to travel freely through many different networks around the world. Even international interconnection rates are agreed at ITU. Millions of us worldwide use digital video to capture our family histories. ITU has pioneered work in this field since the 1980s, becoming a major influence on digital video broadcast and recording. This camcorder uses an ITU standard that compresses digital images. The film takes up less space on the camera, less space on a computer hard drive, and uses less bandwidth when sent to friends or a favourite website. This ITU standard can send high-quality images across the bandwidth spectrum, working on high-definition television, video conferencing, and mobile phones. In 2008, it won a Primetime Emmy Award for excellence. Thanks to ITU standards, family movies can be seen on different devices all around the world. ITU has been behind each step of the Internet's growth, from early dial-up modems to DSL technologies to today's high-speed cable and fibre systems. ITU standards have allowed us to access the power of the web. Fibre optic networks are more efficient, carry more data, bringing the world closer together. After its journey around the world, the email from France has reached its destination, Japan. Every day we're discovering new ways to communicate. Even on a speeding bullet train, you can take calls and check email. You can download and watch video on the move. Here in Japan, base stations along the train tracks provide broadband speed connections. So inside the train, you can surf the internet or watch live video. Information and communication technologies, with ITU standards at their heart, truly connect the world. One of ITU's fundamental roles is to build confidence and security into our information and communication technologies. ITU standards enable us to talk and trade securely. Telecom operators worldwide are deploying next-generation networks, using internet technology underpinned by a myriad of new ITU standards. For developing countries, next-generation network is a leapfrog technology that can bring better services faster and cheaper. Of the billions of people on our planet today, some are more fortunate than others. Bringing the benefits of information and communication technologies to the world's less developed countries is a priority for ITU. We also want to make sure people with disabilities can access these technologies too. Climate change is a concern for the whole world. ITU is working to reduce and better understand the impact that technologies have on our environment. Printing a smile from Paris to the bullet train in Japan, e-health
So I think you can argue that in today's, or among today's high-tech field, there is no field that's undergoing faster changes than information and communication technology field. And we are part of that, and I think that makes, that's really great. Okay, so I'll have a few additional slides where I'll show you what the ITU has been doing within the last 2 years. In the video, there was a mention about an Emmy Award. So I don't know how much you're into television. For television, there is a famous Hollywood award, the Oscar Award. No, that's not for television, that's for movies. That's for movies. The Oscar Award in Hollywood, that's for movies. But there is something similar for television shows, so that's called the Emmy Award. And so the Emmy Award is given out to a TV series, famous TV series. But they also have a technical Emmy Award. And ITU received this award in 2008 for the H.264 standard, video coding standard, also known by the name of MPEG. That's work that was jointly done with ISO and IC. Anyone familiar with H.264? Anyone familiar with H.264? No? Have you heard the name MPEG? MPEG, yeah? All right, so the ITU name is H.264. we want to make this more famous than MPEG, yeah? It's the same, yeah? It's joint work, but quite a few know it under the name of MPEG. That's the ISO name, but the ITU name is H.264. So that's one of the best work that has come out of ITUT. Here is something that our Secretary General, Dr. Hamadou Touré, launched. It's called the Broadband Commission. So the Broadband Commission consists of about 50 well-known people. There are some presidents, like President Kigali. He's actually the chair of the Broadband Commission, together with Carlos Slim. Anyone has heard the name of Carlos Slim? That's the richest man or the richest person of the world right now. So both, the two of them are chairing the Broadband Commission. And then there are a couple of other ministers and a few billionaires on the Broadband Commission and a Nobel Prize laureate. And the idea of the Broadband Commission is to develop guidelines, best practices for governments on how to implement broadband infrastructure in their country. Because we at ITU believe that broadband is going to be something like water or electricity or roads, or something which everyone needs to have, wants to have. It will just be a commodity. And this Broadband Commission is submitting a report to the UN, United Nations Secretary General, in September. And so this is a very good initiative that Dr. Touré started. All right, here's another field where we have been quite active over the last few years, and that's, okay, it's getting a little bit. That's our work on climate change. One topic that we're working on is a methodology to estimate the impact of ICT on climate change. There is positive impact, there is negative impact. Negative impact is because of all the increasing number of computers, of routers, of data centers. They all need more and more energy. On the positive side is you may need less travel. For example, what Abraham told me this morning, the fiber optic network that's going to be installed in Rwanda, that will serve the purpose that the officials can make video conference calls so they don't have to travel. So that saves energy, that saves time. So that's a positive aspect. But how to estimate and compare positive and negative estimates is there are different methods on the market. So different companies use different methodologies to estimate the impact of ICTs on climate change. So what we at ITU want to do is we want to standardize a methodology so that we can really compare apples with apples and oranges with oranges and that we don't mix these two. So that has seen quite a bit of work, input in the last couple of years. Here's another thing that the ITU did. You all know the problem that when you get a new mobile phone, even if it's within the same company, you may not be able to use the charger that you have used for your previous phone. So what would be nice is really to have a universal charger that can be used for any phone, any mobile phone, or maybe even for other devices. So the ITU has come up, and that was in April this year, with a universal charger. So I think we've never seen any topic that got so much press feedback than when we announced that we have a recommendation, a standard for a universal charger. The problem is there are others who also claim that they have a universal charger. We have to really get eventually the universal charger, but we do have a recommendation, a standard on that. This is a topic, accessibility, which has also seen a lot of input in ITU within the last couple of years. So accessibility is in the sense of allowing people with disabilities to access information and communication technologies. The person you see here is an Italian gentleman who had an accident a few years back. He cannot move anything. What he can move is he can move his eyelids, but he cannot move his hands, he cannot move his legs, he's completely paralyzed. But because of advances in ICT, he's able, with his eyes, to manipulate an application. And so that's just one example of how ICT can help also disabled people to communicate. And now his life has been much improved. He's able to be in contact with his daughter, to communicate with her, with friends. So that's also a topic, accessibility, which is very high on the agenda of ITU. All right, here is another standard, home networking, and it's also done by the ITU-T study group 15. That's the group that brings you this manual. We have a networking standard that encompasses phone lines and power lines and coaxial cables. This is a very high-profile work. It gets a lot of feedback in the press, because there is a huge market behind that. Cyber security or security is another topic which is very important for ITU-T, and it's also a topic that's very high on the agenda, among the top agenda points of the Secretary General of ITU. This here is a cover from The Economist a couple of weeks ago. Okay, the heading Next World War might have been in cyberspace. So cybersecurity, security is a standards topic that we also address heavily in ITU-T. We started in June of this year 2 new standards activities. One is called Smart Grid. Have you heard the term of Smart Grid? So the term grid, that's the term that the electricity people use for their network. They don't call it network, they call it grid. Yeah, that's the way they call it. And the electricity grid is not as smart as our communications network. So the idea is to put intelligence into the electricity network. So that's called Smart Grid. And so we have started standards activities on this in June. We have another standards activity that we started that's called cloud computing. Now, cloud computing is a term that's heavily used, maybe used too much. There's a lot of hype with the term cloud computing. What it means, if cloud computing basically is very simple. It means that your data or your applications are not stored locally, they're stored some other place. For example, if you have a Yahoo account or a Google Gmail account, your email is stored not locally, it's stored somewhere in the cloud, somewhere, some server, somewhere in the internet. Yeah? So this is not really nothing new. If you look at the history of computing, things have been going back and forth between centralized and decentralized architectures. But currently, and this is also a cover story that was done in The Economist in October 2009, cloud computing is a topic which is gaining a lot of attention these days. Okay, we have also something where ICTs will become very important, and that's in connection with the car. I mean, there is supposedly, there is this American writer called Mark Twain who lived in the 1800s, and apparently he said, for a man with a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Yeah? So for someone working in telecoms industry, everything looks like a phone. So a car also looks like a phone to us. So the idea is to network the cars, the cars among themselves, and to network the cars with roadside infrastructure. So we have a workshop that we call the fully networked car, that we do also jointly together with ISO and IC, where we explore how ICTs can help in things like traffic management and so on. All right, okay, so this was an ITUT overview, and now we zoom into ITUT study group 15, which is one of the, I think, most exciting study groups that we have in ITUT. It's also our biggest study group. To every meeting we have close to 400 delegates. We have probably about 1,000 documents per meeting. There are a lot of meetings in between, so this is a very productive, very high-profile group. And without the work done by ITU Study Group 15, there would be no optical transport, there would be no access like ADSL, VDSL. So we're very happy to have such an impressive group. And this group also put together, well, first what they did, they wrote a handbook, and that's the handbook that you have been receiving when you registered. And that's the focus of this course. It's the first time that we do such an in-depth tutorial. So we're very excited and hope that it works to everyone's satisfaction. So we have 4 pros from around the world. So one of them is already here. That's if I do the Dutch pronunciation, because he's from the Netherlands, his name is Gerard Kruijt. So I think if we call him Gerald, I think that's fine. Yeah. And then we have another pro. He is from Brazil. He's currently stranded in Kigali and waiting for his luggage because he missed the connection, and he found it. Yeah. So okay, excellent, super. So he will be coming today. So Gerald will be teaching you the first roughly 2 days or so, yeah. And then Attilio will take over. And then next week we have Makoto Murakami from Japan, together with a professor, Giancarlo De Marchis. He is from Italy. So those have been heavily involved in the work of Study Group 15. They know every bit and every byte and everything you ever want to know about optical fiber. So we're very, very happy that they have been able to come to get permission from the companies to spend 2 weeks for a dedicated tutorial. So very happy for that. And that basically finishes my presentation. There are a couple of supplementary slides. Well, here's one. Where a bit more detail is given on Study Group 15, but I'm sure that Gerald will dive into that. Maybe, Dave, if I can just say a couple of things regarding logistics. Yeah. So we are recording this event. Now, the entire 2 weeks we are recording. We'll see what comes out of it. Yeah. We haven't done this before, but this is a very time-intensive and costly event for everyone. So it's difficult to reproduce it. Maybe if we have a good recording, we could make it available to other interested parties, to your colleagues who haven't been able to come. Yeah, that's the idea, but we'll see what the quality is. We have our professional team from Kigali called Bright Image, right? Who are doing this. I mean, you don't have to be afraid. You know, you can ask any questions. We're not putting this on the internet. Yeah. So we're putting the course, the explanations of the professors, and so don't be afraid of asking any question you'd like. Then, what we'll also do is at the end of the course, we'll give you an evaluation form, which you must. Well, you don't have to, but it would be great if you could return this evaluation form to us, so that we see whether you were happy with the course. Yeah, and that will help us in shaping future courses. And then I myself, I will be leaving after lunch together with Dave Mellor, and one of my colleagues from ITUD, from the development sector, Jacques Massima, will be coming. I'm not sure when he will be coming. So, but he also said he would be here the entire 2 weeks. So there should be someone from ITU here for an entire 2-week course. The coffee breaks are thanks to the Kigali government. They're sponsored. So there is a coffee break in the morning. There is a coffee break in the afternoon. I think the timing when you want to start each day, I think that you discuss this with the tutor. Maybe 9 o'clock, maybe 9:30. So you see what fits you best. That should be fine. And I think that's probably everything I wanted to say. Let me just check quickly. Yeah, I think that's all I had to say. So I wish you from my side all the best. This is really something, as I said, the first time that we do this, and I'm very excited and hope that you're very excited about it. And we want to repeat this. If this turns out to be really great, we want to repeat these things. So thanks very much.
Thanks very much, Reinhard. On behalf of the UKTA and the ITU, I'd like to express sincere thanks to the Rwandan government for hosting this event, and I sincerely wish you all the best. As Reinhard said, I will be leaving immediately after lunch, but if anybody wants to speak to me at all during the coffee break or over lunch, feel free to do so. Thank you very much. And now we can take the coffee break. Thank you.
An editor means that you have to prepare discussions in case there are new developments to have a revision of the document. So you prepare usually discussions over Reflector of ITU, and you bring at the meetings a draft version which can be discussed at the meetings, and after the meeting has finished, you bring the last version to the DSB Secretariat. That is the job of an editor. In ISC, I've done my work mostly in subcommittee 86A, and more particular in work group 1, which is involved on optical fiber. And since about 5 years, I've been the convener of that group, so the chairman of that group. And since last year, I've been elected as the chair of SC subcommittee 86A. Because of my job in both organizations, ISC and ITU, I'm also the liaison officer between the two organizations, because we want to keep both our standards and recommendations in the best way harmonized. So if there's some development in ITU, and usually ITU is leading on the single mode fibers, as soon as possible, we incorporate that also in ISC standards. So we need to be, to have a very harmonized development in both organizations. So that's my background on standards. Maybe it's also a good time now for you to introduce yourself. So my proposal is that we give our name, give our affiliation, where your background is, which country, which company, and maybe you can say a few words about your background in optical communications. And maybe can I start with you? Yeah? Okay. I give you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Sako Abdoulaye. I come from Guinea-Conakry, and I work in the company. The name for the company is regulator, authority regulator, post and telecommunication, and my department is the DICE department, IT department, and I am the chief for all infrastructure and system in my company. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Tarsis Awilman. I'm from Burundi. I work at the Agency of Regulation and the Control of Telecommunication. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Hakizimana Constak from Burundi. I work in the regulatory body. Thank you.
Morning, everybody. I'm Forentim Tuka from Tanzania. I'm working with the Tanzanian Telecommunication Company. Actually, we are in the network planning and development. Thank you.
My name is Anthony Modest. I'm coming from Tanzania. I'm working with Tanzania Telecommunication Company Limited.
My name is Aranya Nanyaro from Tanzania. I'm working with Tanzania Telecommunication Company.
Hello.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Johnson Kibacha. I come from Tanzania. I worked with an operator for 8 years, and of the last 4 years, I've been working with the regulator, Tanzania Communications Regulatory Authority, in ICT development. I am also a member of ITU Star Group 12. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Ali Sungi from Cameroon. I work with the Telecommunication Regulatory Board as a sub-director in charge of interconnection. I'm an engineer by training.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name is Vincent Namrona, coming from Central African Republic. My job is frequency spectrum planning and assignment in the regulatory company in my country. So I have been working in telecommunication market since 1999 in Africa. Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Brian Dujanga from Wari Telecom in Uganda. I work in network planning department in transmission planning. Thank you.
I'm Jonathan Mwakijere. I'm the head of Department of Computer Engineering and Information Technology at Kigali Institute of Science and Technology. I'm responsible for a number of academic programs, including Masters of Communication Management and Master of Science in Operational Communication. I'm just here for a few hours. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Pierre Ndamama. I'm from Burundi. Right now, I'm working for this project involved in setting up the national backbone based on fiber optic. And apart from that, I'm also a lecturer in University of Burundi in the computer science area. I've been involved in SG 15 in ITU for the last 2 years. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Vondoro Redempteur from Burundi, in the public telecommunication company called Onatel. I'm in charge of wireline network as a chief technical officer. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Terence Shimirimana. I come from Burundi. I work in the National Office of Telecommunication. Thank you.
Morning. My name is Umay Jean. I'm from DRC. I'm working for regulatory authority.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Victor Naishakie. I come from Burundi. I'm IT manager and I work in ARCT regulator.
Morning, everybody. I'm Diomed Jeremy Ageringwe, a telecom engineer, and I work for the regulatory authority in Burundi as a technical director. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Kusi Ronald. I work in one of the telecommunication companies in Rwanda, that is Rwandatel. I act as a transmission planning engineer. Thank you.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. John Sevhor from Rwandatel, working as a transmission engineer and worked before with the GPON systems and fiber backbone network. Thank you.
Bonjour, monsieur. Merci. Je m'appelle Justin Gournazako. Je suis conseiller du ministre des Postes et Télécommunications chargé des nouvelles technologies de la République centrafricaine. Je suis coordinateur de projet fibre optique financé par la Banque mondiale, composante Centrafrique. Merci.
Bonjour, messieurs et dames. Je m'appelle Girdona Mogalbay. Je suis du Tchad. Je travaille dans l'autorité de régulation des télécoms du Tchad. Merci.
Good morning. My name is Muhire Mashaku. I'm working in MTN as a transmission engineer.
Good morning. My name is Hesron Turikumana. I'm a network maintenance manager and the optical fiber project lead in MTN Rwanda. I'm a member of East African Backhauling System Technical Committee, and I did some research on the fiber system and ICT standards under Professor Mellor supervision. Thanks.
Good morning. My name is Chuma Vuningoma. I work in MTN Rwanda as network planning manager. I work on mainly on transmission systems, transport systems, including fiber optics.
Good morning. My name is Irene Nyonambaza. I work with the Rwanda Utilities Regulatory Agency, RURA. I work in the ICT infrastructure development, and I work with media transport, including fiber optic. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm called Rwabuhi Eugene. I'm working in Rura and the ICT department. Especially, I'm in charge in transport media. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Rukundo Eugene. I'm coming from Breko and Wasco, the company in charge of water and electricity. I work as ICT director. My interest in this workshop is because we are implementing a fiber network on electricity network. Thank you.
Thank you. Tessa Pascal. I work also with Breko and Wasco. I'm the manager of the National Control Center, National Electricity Control Center. And currently, I'm a project manager on the optical fiber cable transmission and SCADA energy management system project, which is being implemented by DRACA.
Morning. My name is Patrick Mugabe. I'm from Rwanda, and I work at the National University of Rwanda as a network administrator.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Ndushabandi Jean Bosco. I'm from Rwanda, National University of Rwanda, as Deputy Director of ICT Center. Thank you.